let's start this live session. And I think there are a lot of questions coming to like page. So let's start with your thing so that if anyone ping us, we'll go with the flow. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. No worries at all. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
back again, 2023, and very exciting news coming through, from various different
Yeah.
sub-departments of Department of Home Affairs. We have seen like a lot of people, lot of
Mhm.
our clients who received 189 invitations,
Yeah.
they already got their visas as well. So some visas even took like 2 to 3 weeks. It was super quick to get an outcome. And even student visas have started to come through from India as well. I've seen that as well. The department has started to grant student visas, um, and visitor visas. They have been quite lenient as well in those. And because yesterday I had a discussion about this with the
Yeah.
with SBS Punjabi, and then they did actually they said the same thing because this new government is actually putting a lot of improvements in place so that the people can get their visas granted quicker. And we always used to start our
Yeah.
session with positive news as well. And also the best thing, anyone who is joining, I would request them to make this session
Sure.
as interactive as possible, because this is not the session for us. It's actually for people like you, maybe your friends or family. So I would suggest you all to share with your friends and family this video, and it might be beneficial for them. It might not be beneficial for you. So if you do have any doubts or anything, if you want to discuss anything in particular, so this session pretty much predominantly is only for education purpose only. So there is no legal advice provided to you in this session. So yeah, so consider this as a
Yeah. Now,
what's that called? As an education purpose only. There is no legal advice provided. I'm a migration agent, and we do have offices in Melbourne, Canberra, and New South Wales as well. So we started office in New South Wales last month, in the month of December, and we are getting a really good positive response from our New South Wales clients, all the Sydney clients, etc. So if you are currently in New South Wales, etc., and you want to get in touch with us, certainly you can as well. And most importantly, any person who is
interested.
joining us or who is
Yeah.
an Australia Uludu follower, they can actually get a 25%, they can get discounted consultation with us by using the code OS Uludu, AUSALLUDU, and they can certainly be able to get the consult with me via Zoom or even face to face
Yeah.
as well. So yes, we are back on track now. We are full on. We are working, assisting all our existing clients, etc. And because we know that there's going to
Mhm.
be a new invitation round coming soon. It's going to be the month of February, so we are preparing all our clients, who missed out the invitation round last time because they didn't had their skill assessments ready, etc. There's a lot of people who contacted us because they didn't have their
Yeah.
assessments ready, they didn't have their PT score, so they missed out on those points. So we don't want any of
Yeah.
other people to miss out as well. So now is the time. Get your now is the time to roll up your sleeves
Yeah.
and get things
So,
done.
Saurabh, thank you so much for all your in detail. We have explained in and out. So, firstly, coming to this migration hour, like I have few questions where even all the followers are just being asking from last 10 minutes. So, first of all, we'll start with Western Australia 491 invitation round. Why? Because lot of people are just asking and also waiting for that thing. So, do you have any information regarding that when it's gonna be open and that why? Because lot of people are right now moving to Perth, I mean Western Australia, just because they are getting their 491 within no time, like 6 months to 1 year. Just that. Yeah.
Yes. So I've seen that a lot of people
Yeah.
have actually started to move to Western Australia as well, and then Western Australia, that if you are living in there, they would prioritize your application. And even though if you are not living in WA, you're living somewhere else in Victoria or New South
Oh.
Wales, you can still be able to apply as well. So that's the best part about WA, that you can still be
Mhm.
eligible to apply. And if you're applying for 491, you don't need to get a job offer. If you want 190, then you need to provide at least a 6 months job offer. So that's the thing as well for WA. And most importantly, they used to do round every third Thursday of every month. So that's the thing as well. And now they have been quite random because of the Christmas break as well. And we haven't seen any round in the month of January so far. So I'm expecting either they might do a round tomorrow, which is Thursday, or maybe the next Thursday. So, and then we also have Australian Open, the Australia Day coming as well. So we have to be very careful whether I think the next Thursday is going to be Australia Day, is 26th of January. So and that also falls on Thursday. So that's the thing as well. They might not do the round next because it's a public holiday. They might do it tomorrow, or they might even do it on next week somewhere on Wednesday. So the time will tell, I would say.
Thanks for that. And there is also people just waiting for 189 round 2. Actually there is a sort of information that it's gonna be come in February. So regarding that.
Yes, so there's going to be a what we have seen so far. If you look at how the department is doing, they did a round in the month of August. That was on 22nd of August. But that wasn't a big round. They invited around 12,000 people on that round. And then they did another round in the month of October, where they invited around 11,000 candidates. And then the biggest round that was happened on 8th of December. That was there. They invited around 35,000 people. So that's a lot of invitation. And not every candidate was actually successful in receiving their visa. A lot of people have their skill assessments expired, their PT score is not valid. Most of them have already got their 190, or some people already have their 491 visa granted, so they are not eligible to apply for this visa, for that invitation. Another thing that people also did is some people also had their multiple EOIs in system, so they end up having many invitations. So there was someone actually contacted us who had received 5 invitations because they had 5 different EOIs in place. So that's how the 35,000 number has come up. That's why it's a very huge number, and I think more than 50 or 60% they have gone to waste. Only few thousands are the one actually be eligible to apply for that visa subclass. Now, if you look at the pattern that the department has already, shown us, that they did an invitation round in the month of August, then 2 months later, 60 days later, they did a round in the month of October, then 60 days later, they did a round in the month of December, and then if you do 60 days, then it's the month of February. So that's the one. So we are anticipating that they might do a round in the month of February, around closer to anytime after 8th of February. So that is something. And then in the last round itself, so you were saying something, sorry?
If we follow that flow chart, it's going to be on this February. Why? Because a lot of people already waiting for that. And as you said, like in December, like October, like there like a raining of 189 invitations. I know like a lot of people are just waiting for that, and it was done. And if you see like 2022, in the end of 2022, there are a lot of visas raining, and expect the same thing happens in the start of 2023. And Saurabh, the people who are doing these diploma courses regarding JRP, like I'm just stressed JRP, lot of people are just having lot of questions. Like before for the JRP registration, it used to take only 1 month or 1.5 months, but right now it's taking 4 to 5 months just to get registered and get the mail and all that.
And then if you know that if you do apply, you can use the last 3 months of your work experience as well. So they cover that experience too. So as soon as you start, you applied for your employment, you do JRE, and then start working, because they will take at least 12 weeks to get that done, and then you can actually claim that last 3 months of work experience. So that's something a lot of people can use that as a tool. So I've also seen, look, JRE is one thing. Job ready program is important, okay, that you need to do it for a lot of trade occupations, technicians, etc., chefs most importantly. But don't just think of job ready program as a tool to get a skill assessment. If you get the opportunity to start working while you are on a student visa, so start working, gain that extra work experience, because then you can use that work experience to claim points. Okay, you don't have to have the work experience to be done after you have done your skill assessment. So once you finish your Cert 4, start working full time. And then because most of the people, if they are working in their field, etc., they can certainly be able to get employer sponsorship as well, 482 employer sponsored visa, etc. There's plenty of options available if you do have that kind of work experience. So that's the best thing you
thank
can
you so much for that. So like there was a question from the one of the person, that is, so he's straight away asking what are the chances for electrical engineering for 189, 190 and 491 with 70 points. So like is it get, or else he needs to get more points for that electrical engineering?
So in the last round that happened for 189, we saw that electrical engineers actually received 189 invitation at 85 points. So, and then even the round before, the invitations were sent out at higher points as well. So there was at least 85 points plus. So I would suggest those people, if you are sitting at 70 points, etc., 190 could be an option for you because it's a state-sponsored permanent residency, and Victoria has been so lenient. I can tell you right now that we have received invitations at 75 points, even 70 points as well for different occupations for 190. And some people who are who can't get up to 70, 80 points, etc., and they are living in Victoria, 491 could be a good option for you as well. And I've seen Victoria is actually being very considerate. They are giving 491s at a very low points. And even though if you are not employed in regional Victoria, if you are living in regional Victoria, you can still be able to apply as well. So that's another thing as well. Another thing I want to sorry, yes. So you can go ahead. I want to discuss this very important point to people who live in Albury or Wodonga. So there's a lot of people who live in Albury and Wodonga, especially, which is on the border of New South Wales and Victoria. So if you live in any of these town areas, you can actually be eligible to apply for Victoria state nomination as well for 491, even for 190 in some circumstances. So we have actually successfully received an invitation for 491 for our client who was not living in Victoria. They were living in New South Wales, and we still managed to get a 491 invitation. So that's very important, guys. If you are living in such kind of border towns of Albury, New South Wales, and Wodonga, etc., you can be eligible for 491. So that's very important thing. These are the small tips and tricks that people don't know, and that can help you get
so
to
might
491
be
as well.
like the places what you have mentioned, like it has more options, like not only 491, 198, 189 they can't, I think so. From there, what do you say? I don't know.
189, so 189 has
Location.
got nothing to do with your location. 189 means if you are applying in Australia, you are onshore. If you are applying outside Australia, you are offshore. So that's what it is. And then say, for example, for 189 visa, your occupation needs to be in MLTSSL list, and you need to have a minimum 65 points of your own. There are some people who are married who cannot get up to 65 points. Some people struggle to get 7 each as well. So they would be only sitting at around 50 to 55 points of their own, and then 15 from the state. So that's the thing as well. And if you are in this kind of situation, you certainly should look for 491 option. That's easier. And then if your occupation is in MLTSSL list, that means that makes you eligible for 189 as well. And 189 has got nothing to do whether you live in Albury or whether you live in Melbourne CBD or in Sydney CBD or in Canberra. It has got nothing to do.
So actually there was a guy from Perth, Western Australia. So I'll just invite him. Like he was curious, like in order to join and ask some questions. Just a second, Saurabh. Architect, yeah. So how was everything going with the migration? Like people are flying from overseas more or less this time? Why? Because I have seen a lot of people messaging from overseas that they are coming for this Feb intake. So what do you think? Like it's the good start for 2023?
Yes. Yeah, 2023 has been really good for migration purpose. And if there's any people who are overseas and they are looking to apply for state nomination,
Okay.
sorry, the student visas as well, you can certainly be able to do that as well. That's very important. So, um, and if you say, for example, if you haven't got an admission or if you already got the admission, you can certainly, contact us
Yeah.
and we can get that
So
sorted
like
as well.
I don't know, like he's not able to join. Yeah, just a second. He has sent me the request. Yes. Yeah, here he is. Oh my God, why it's not accepting all of a sudden?
Hello.
Yeah, he's there. Hello, hi. Hi. How are
Hi,
you?
Saurabh. Hi. I'm good. How are
Yeah,
you?
super cool. I can't see your name, but like you can tell
Yeah,
your name. Why?
I'm Numan from Perth,
Yeah.
Western Australia. So basically, I'm from Hyderabad,
Mhm.
and I just came here 4 months back, and I have applied for 491 visa, EY, in the month of March, and after that, I got student visa in August. So right now, my UI is in system. So I'm just curious if I can get invitation in the upcoming round. My points are like 70 points at the moment, and I have booked my PT exam as well. It's on 7th of Feb. So any chance for invitation, and occupation is architectural draft person.
Civil
Yeah, it's not
architectural
civil,
draft
it's
person, okay,
architectural
and
draft
then
person. Yes.
architectural person, yes, yes. So you got 70 points, including the state,
Yes.
15 points from the state. So which you have 55 points of
Yes.
your own, and then 70 in total. So next round that they're going to do, I think Western Australia received a bit more number of places recently
Mm-hmm.
from federal government, and then you know that for 491 you don't need a job offer. So we are expecting that they're going to do a little bit bigger round in the month of January. Hopefully that round might happen tomorrow or maybe
Yes.
next week. But the thing is, they normally do the rounds on Thursday, and however, next Thursday is actually public holiday. So we are expecting that the round might
Okay.
happen tomorrow. So good luck, and if you do receive the invitation at that point, make sure you do send us a message and let us know that yes, hey guys, I have received this invitation, so we can get a data from all our viewers as well, that at what point people are getting invited, etc. It helps
Yes, I
maybe other
might
people as
need
well
your
who are
services as
working
well. I
with like
did
you.
my process from 𝐌𝐿𝐴𝐴𝑥is India. So now I need someone who can, handle the visa processing and all. And after completion of this thing, like PT examination, I need to update my UI as well. So hopefully I will be getting 10 points
So you
easily.
can
And
send us a
Yeah.
so
sure,
you can send us a private message.
sure,
Always send us a private message, and I will put my mobile number
sure,
in the comments there. You can actually send us a
sure.
message on WhatsApp as well, and then yeah, and we can then certainly
And
get
once I
that
get the
sorted for you.
invitation, I need to continue my student visa, right?
So say for example, so this is how the process works
Mm-hmm.
for general skill migration. Because you have once you receive a pre-invitation, then we would have to apply for the
Okay.
nomination. Once we apply for the nominations, once the nomination gets approved, then we receive an invitation to
Okay.
skill select from Home Affairs. Then there is no more state is no longer involved in that process. And then we applied for the visa. Once the visa gets granted, then your 491 visa would take over your student visa, and then you would no longer have to be on a student visa, and then you would be, once you got the 491 granted, then you will be on your 491 visa.
So that thing.
Make sense?
Oh, are you here? I think he's.
Okay. How long it takes for 491 processing?
So it is really quick nowadays. We have seen, especially they are actually trying to process 491s and 189s really quickly for people, because they know that you're going to be in regional area, and that's going to help boost the regional economy. So they are in the process of currently approving 491s for really quickly as well, especially for people living in
Sure.
outer regional
Thank you
areas.
so much for the information. Right
So I
now,
would say like
okay.
it shouldn't take that
Right now, I'm
long.
sending you a message. I want you to, handle my process further. Like UI is already done. Next process is like I just need to update my PT, and we have to file visa once we receive the invitation. So hopefully, I guess this month I will be receiving, because
Yeah. So the next step
last
for
month
you will
on
be
75 point.
perfect. So next
Mm-hmm.
step for you will be is to
Okay.
so next step for you will be is to apply for the nomination first. Once you get the nomination, then only you will receive the visa. Then only you can be able to apply for the visa application. So there's a total of 4 steps involved in that. The first step, which is EOI, that you have already done. The second step will be when you receive a pre-invitation, and then the nomination, and then the third step will be when you receive the invitation, and then you apply for the visa.
Sure. I have contacted Aussies group here in Perth, but they didn't give me proper response. So, I wanted to get someone from Perth, to help me with the process, but I was not able to, get the proper consultant. So I think I will contact you right now, and then, we'll see how it goes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
So Saurabh, that was a very nice question from him, and thank you for that one. So there's other one, someone is asking regarding data scientist, the future of data scientist in Australia, how it will be regarding that.
So, so a lot of people who study masters in data science, bachelors of data science, data analytics, etc. So these people can get a skill assessment in IT occupations such as software engineer, developer, programmer, even as a business analyst as well. However, the department is actually going to update their ANSCO occupations, and they are working on to get a new occupation, it's a data scientist. And then, look, as a data analyst, as a data scientist, you can certainly get a skill assessment as software engineer, analyst, programmer, developer, programmer. You can get all those skill assessments in IT occupations, provided you are actually you are actually eligible to get those assessments based on ACS guidelines, and then you can actually apply for PR through that pathway as well. So yes, and then we have seen that a lot of employers are also willing to sponsor people. If you do Master of Data Analytics or data science, etc. So yeah, it's a very good perspective.
Just want to announce once again. So guys, whoever are seeing this live, you can just ask your questions in the comment box, or else you can send us a request so that we can join you online. So Saurabh, there's a question from other person, regarding civil engineering and the job opportunities right now in this era.
So civil engineering, people have actually received quite a number of invitations as well. Civil engineers receive invitation. Most of the engineering occupation receive invitation at 85 points for 189. So that means that, and also for Victoria itself, people have received 190 invitation at lower points too. So that's another advantage of you if you are actually in the process of getting a skill assessment or as a civil engineer. Then yes, the future is quite good for you. You certainly be in a good position to get the invitation from the government as well in the next particular round. And what I've also seen is Victoria has invited our civil engineering clients at even at 70 points, 75 points. So if you are not meeting up to 85 points for 189, you certainly should. If you are employed, you don't have to be employed as a civil engineer in Victoria. You could be employed in any role as long as it's skill level 1, 2, or 3. So you could be a civil engineer working in a restaurant as a cook. You can still be able to apply for Victoria State nomination 190. And then you might be able to get that invitation.
Okay, so let's move on to other one. There's a question from Venki Gomi saying that he got invited in September 22 and launched application on November 25 for 190 visa in Victoria with 90 points. So he's asking when he can expect visa grant.
So that's the thing, this is no one can answer this question. When the department would actually grant you a visa. So we have some applications that were lodged after that. We have some visa applications that were lodged in the month of December, have already been granted. And there are some waiting since September. So it's all random. However, now the department is actually in the process of finalizing applications which are actually done in the month. They actually try to put all the resources to grant 189 and 190 permanent residences quickly as possible. So yes, the chances of you getting a visa is really high, and you certainly be in the position to get the positive outcome soon.
So there's other question from Hema Perry saying, if people have option to choose between 190 and 189, so which subclass is best to apply based on the current processing times? So in between 189 and 190. But she did not mention what is the stream of her and maybe. But what
So that's the thing as well. So there are some
Yeah.
occupations who cannot apply for 189, but there are some occupations who can apply for 189 as well as 190. So if you are in that kind of position, and if you have received the invitation for 189 and 190 as well, currently what I've seen is the department is actually processing
Okay.
189s quicker as well. Previously, they were taking way longer than usual. They were taking up to more than almost 2 years to get a 189 in grant. However, now that they have turned around, they have, the department has done a tremendous job in bringing down the numbers of the pending cases, and they are
Yeah.
kind of processing these visa applications really quickly. So even and in the current circumstances, 189 is a permanent residency, 190 is a permanent residency as well. So you certainly be able to apply for either of them. Most important thing is you should
Yeah.
receive a successful invitation, and the points that you have claimed are correct. Do not claim unnecessary points where you will get an invitation, however you will get the visa rejected. So do not do that. Do not claim points unnecessary where you would just jeopardize your
Okay,
future.
that's cool. So like just go with act smart, like with whatever points we have regarding that, like we can go with the 189 or 190. That's cool. So there's like a message from Malavika saying like, what is the future of Masters of Information Technology and job opportunities for IT, like in this upcoming year? She's asking about IT anyhow. So I have
IT has been always good.
Yeah.
What I've seen is that people are getting invitations, people are getting good
Mhm.
employment opportunities as well. So most important thing is when you are looking to get something
Mhm.
in information technology sector,
Yeah.
you need to have those essential skills. What I've seen is that if you are coming from overseas, from your home country to study in Australia, when you apply for the visa and then you have that time frame where you wait for the visa outcome, etc., use that period to get the right skills. Try to improve your skills, improve your technical skills. Try to get that, learn extra skills that you think that will help you get a job in Australia. So use that period very crucially, and then I would say sky is the limit for you.
So there was a question from Rajesh Chaudhary saying like, may I know the Victoria State nomination 190 points required for software engineering coming invitation round and like coming?
So it could be anything between 65 to 90, 100 points as well. So if you, and every profile is different. So you can certainly be able to get an invitation at 65 and 70 points as well, as long as your profile is good, you are earning, the market rate salary as a software engineer as well. So that's what's important in this current Victoria State nomination process. They want to see that you are earning, you are working in a skilled job, your duties that you're doing is actually at a level of a skilled employment. So those are things are very important when it comes to Victoria State nomination.
So one of the follow Ulas, like he's asking, can business analyst students can get skill assessment in IT, like from business analyst to IT, skill assessment in that?
Yes. So exactly. So if people who study Master of Business Analyst, Master of Business Analytics or Enterprise Systems, they can certainly get a skill assessment as a business analyst, system analyst as well, database administrator, depending upon what they are working. And then they can actually be able to apply for PR as well through that pathway. So yes, they can get skills.
So like, may I know the Victoria State nomination 190 points required for software engineer, like coming invitation round, like in the coming round? So what would be the 190?
So there is no such, nobody can tell anyone at what points the Victorian government would actually planning to invite someone. Even they might not have decided themselves yet. We don't even know exactly. You might get an invitation at 65 points, and there might be someone at 100 points as well who would still wait for that invitation. So it's all randomized. There is no certain amount of points that a person will have to get in order for them to get this skills invitation. So if you, as long as you have minimum of 65 points, it makes you eligible to apply, and then you certainly be able to get the invitation.
Even like in recent times, Saurabh, I have seen lot of people getting invitations for just 65 points, and that too for 189.
Exactly. Yeah, 65 points. Whoever got the 65 points, they all are technicians. They were painting trade workers, chefs, motor mechanics, these people have not received any invitations for 190 or 189 in the last 2 years. So now they actually started to receive invitation at so low points in these occupations. So that's the thing. That's why I recommend anyone who's working in this particular sectors to quickly get your skill assessment done before the month of February. You have 14 days to get the skill assessment. Quickly get that done so that you could be eligible to apply for 189
So like
in the coming round.
like could it be a scope in masters in biotechnology and bioinformatics? Is there anything like where people can get over here for that?
Yeah, people who have studied bachelors of biotechnology, they certainly can get skill assessment as a biotechnologist, life scientist, etc. So those are the options available to those people, and they can certainly be able to get the skill assessment. And then they would also be eligible to apply for permanent residency as well. And I've seen, like, if we talk about in the recent round that happened, biotechnologists received the invitation at 85 points for 189. So there you go. Yes, the options are good, and they have received invitations for 190 at lower points as well. And most importantly, the students who are coming now from overseas, you don't actually have to wait until you apply for 485 visa to be able to apply for 189 or 190. You certainly can apply for these permanent residencies while you are on a student visa as well. So that's the thing. You don't actually have to wait in order for you to be eligible to apply. You can certainly be able to apply right away.
So I have got 90 points for 189 and 190, 95 for civil engineer. So is there any chance without any experience? Is there any chance for invitation? He's asking, like, without any experience, could he can get invitation?
Yeah, of course. Civil engineers receive invitation for 189 at 85 points. So yes, the chances are quite high. And if you are currently applying, you are in Victoria, and you don't have to be working as a civil engineer to get the invitation. You could be working in skill level 1, 2, or 3 role to be eligible to apply for 190 as well from Victoria State nomination.
That's nice.
So that's the thing.
So a lot of people just asking regarding this 189 and 190 these days. So, like, you know, like it's a perception that 181 and 190, these are like two separate visas. But the thing what you said is, in order to get the permanent residency, it's just a pathway. But people are just in state, like, what would be the great thing to go with? Like, can you describe in just single word, like how they can choose that, like, without any?
So say, for example, 189 is an independent skill migration visa, independent skilled visa, and 190 is a state sponsored visa. So where the state has the power to nominate you for that particular visa subclass. For 190, you would have to satisfy the requirements of the state in order for you to get the invitation. So if we talk about, say, there are two occupations, chef and a cook. Chef is an MLTSSL list occupation. It can apply for 189, 190, 491. Whereas cook is a 190, it's a STSL occupation, which is a short, you know, the short-term skill occupation list. And that means that a cook cannot apply for 189. He can only apply for 190 and 491. So if you are a cook, you certainly do not have an option to apply for 189. You can only apply for 491 or 190. So that's the thing as well. So you have to be very careful based on what your occupation is and what subclass you are actually eligible for.
So, like, what are the chances of cybersecurity in New South Wales skill visa?
Yes, so New South Wales also did a very big round last week itself. We have received the number of invitations as well from New South Wales. And I would suggest cybersecurity, which is an ICT security specialist assessment. People are getting invitations for 189 at 85 points. So this is a very good amount of points to get the invitation. And there are some people who receive invitation at lower points as well. And they have actually, since they have removed the number of the experience criteria, which is good, that means that makes a lot of people eligible to apply for 190. So there you go. You do have a good opportunity, good options to apply for permanent residency if you are in that.
So, like, there's other person asking, like, can we get 189 and with 70 points doing IT job in Queensland? Like,
So, sorry. So 189 has got nothing to do where you are. You could also be overseas. You could also be in Australia. It doesn't matter if you're in Queensland, Victoria, anywhere. So, and then you could 70 points are quite low because the last round that they happened was they invited people at 85 points. And the round before also was at 85. So I don't think that they would reduce the number of points, because they want to keep those extra points for professional engineers, because they know that number of people who are applying, the most amount of people who are applying are actually engineers. So they have kept the points at a higher
That's
point,
cool.
around 85.
So like, you know, like a lot of people are asking regarding mechanical engineer, like not only in Victoria, like all parts of Australia. So like, can you please describe regarding that? What are the chances? And
So mechanical engineers received invitation at 85 points in the last round, and even in the round before. So that means that people, you know, if you are 30 year, between 25 and 32, you get 30 points, 15 for bachelors. That's 45, 5 points for 2 years of study, 50 points, and you got your NATI, and you got 8 each. So that's 25 points, and then 10 points for being single. That means that's 85 points. So that's how you will get up to, if you are mechanical engineer, you need to get NATI and 8 each. That's important. And that will get you 25 points. 25 points plus 10 points for being single, 35 plus 50 for your qualification and age. That's 85 points. That's how people get up to 189. Some people could have got studies in regional area as well. That's another thing. So some people have 1 year of work experience as well. So that's the thing as well. So they are different points, but the minimum points that we have seen engineers to get invitation is at 85 points.
so like, there was other question from like Manasa. What she's asking is, what is the process for 482 to apply for PR? 482.
So 482 visa is a TSS, which is an employer sponsored visa, temporary skill shortage visa. And if you have an occupation which is in MLTSSL list, and so you need to work with that employer for at least 3 years, and then you can be eligible for 186 temporary residence transition stream. However, if you have got a 3 years of work experience at a skill level, and then you have got a competent English as well and a skill assessment in your occupation, then you can also be eligible to apply for 186 visa direct entry. So you can apply for the visa directly. You don't actually have to wait for that 3-year mark. So that's another advantage of
like as you said, like regarding 482. So like, the person who applies for 482 need to apply for 186, or it's two different visas?
So 482 is a temporary visa. 186 is a permanent residency. 482 to 186 permanent residency, there is a pathway if you are working in an MLTSSL list occupation. So if you are a chef, software engineer, you could also be eligible to apply for direct PR through your employer, provided your employer is willing to sponsor you on a permanent visa. And that's how they're going to do it.
So there's a question, just a second. A lot of people asking regarding 189 and 190, as like, you know, like there are like a lot of visas came in last end of the year. That's the thing. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's the thing. So 189, you know, people, if you are interested in, if you are keen on applying for 189, you can actually, I'll put my phone number. That's my WhatsApp number. Send us a message on WhatsApp, and we can actually send you a guide through that this is the process, etc. And then you can certainly be able to be eligible to apply. And I'm actually going to make a video, a short video, a 60-second video, explaining about 189 visa, because there's a lot of people don't know, and then they are making a lot of mistakes. And I will post it up here for you guys to see, and then you can share it with your friends and families, and that would explain you what the 189 visa is all about, and you know, some tips on applying.
So Saurabh, like there's one question from Kishore. So he got 189 round on February will be the last round for this financial year based on the number of invitations that have given in the previous round, or what is your take on this? Like he's asking, like, is this could be the last thing, or else, or they're gonna give more?
No, nobody knows actually whether this is going to be the last round or not, and we don't even know whether the round's going to happen in the month of February or not. But however, if you look at the pattern, that they might do a round in the month of February, and then the next round will be the last round, which I hope will be in the month of April, and that will be the last one. And then I think then they might close down for this financial year, and then they restart the rounds back again in the month of July.
So what if I lived in regional for 1 year on my TR without education? Can I still accumulate 5 regional points? So is it possible?
So for regional points, you must study and live in regional area for at least 2 years. You need to have 2 years of study as a minimum to be able to apply to get
Okay, so
the regional points. And a lot of people, what I've seen is that they are actually claiming those regional points, and then they are actually not eligible to get those points. And when you do that, you certainly be able to get the visa rejected for that. So don't claim unnecessary points. You might end up getting the outcome. You might end up getting a invitation, but that invitation will be useless. So at least, yes, they ask you to have at least one degree, diploma, or any trade qualification that you have actually studied in regional, and that qualification must meet the Australian study requirement. That means that must have been at least CRICO's registered course for 94 weeks, which is 2 years. That's the thing. A lot of people don't read the whole thing properly, and then they end up getting a visa rejection.
So what's the difference between Schedule 1 and the Schedule 2 occupation list? Like, can you define that?
So there is no such thing as Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 occupation list. There are only 3 occupation lists at the moment, which is MLT, SSL, STSOL, and ROL. What Schedule 1 is, Schedule 1 and 2 is actually for visa subclasses. Schedule 1 defines the validity of a visa subclass. So if anyone wants to apply for a visa, they must most importantly, the number one thing is they must meet Schedule 1 criteria, that the visa application that they want to make is valid. A minister, so the Department of Home Affairs minister, would only consider your visa application if it is validly placed. Secondly, the Schedule 2 is the eligibility criteria that defines whether you actually meet the eligibility criteria or not. So that's very important. And if your visa application is not valid, then the department actually refund you the money and then consider your application as invalid for a minister to consider. In order for the department to consider your application, it must be valid, and then secondly, it must meet the eligibility criteria for the purpose of
as we are
grant.
discussing like regional points, like there was a question. So what documents are required to claim 5 points for regional study? Like if
there's a lot of information that goes in claiming those points as well, because department is very certain about how you are claiming those points, etc. So there's a lot of documentation that goes into that as well, and certainly open forum like this is not a right place to discuss those documentation, as there are quite number of documentation as well. It's a quite exhaustive list to prove that 5 points. And I think we're almost close to the end as well, and my phone battery is only
that's cool.
5%.
Like maybe this will be the last question. Like we can wind up. So, which date of EOE is considered initial or last submission date? So, which is
so most importantly, the DOE, which is the date of effect, is the date when you submitted the visa, the EOI. And if you do, say for example, make changes and your points goes up and down, that actually impacts your date of effect. So that if your points is sitting at 65 points, and if you got extra points, if you finish 1 year work experience goes to 70, then the new DOE becomes the date you got 70 points. So that's the thing as well. So this is DOE is very important when it comes to invitations for 189s and 190, 189 visas specifically. 190 doesn't matter.
Just last question, like we're gonna wind up to this, and maybe we can just plan for next week. So what is the processing time for getting a nomination after getting an invite for 190 new, like Western Australia, not in here?
Western Australia is taking a little bit longer than usual. They are currently taking 4 to 6 weeks to process your nomination application, as compared to other states. Victoria sometimes is even doing that within an hour. So it's very quick, but Western Australia is taking a little longer than usual.
For now. So it's already like 50 to 1 hour, 50 minutes to 1 hour. So I think a lot of questions have been answered from you, and thank you so much for getting online and also just interacting with all the followers of Australia Alludu. We are very happy that.
Perfect. So what I'll do is I'll let me see if I can put my phone number as a WhatsApp, and then people, they can actually
that you directly. That's
can,
cool.
and they can just message on WhatsApp, and then we can certainly, or they can even send a message to what's it
or
called?
else like
Oh, 𝐿𝐴𝐿 page, and then they can certainly be. I
yeah,
don't know
you
how to
can
pin this
just
comment.
keep on
I
it
don't know.
like on that comment, and just you can find pin comment over there.
Oh, I think I can't do it. I think
Yeah,
you can do it on
yeah,
your
it's on there.
Okay, okay, cool. Yeah, so people can send us a message there as well, and then they can certainly go online and book in a consult using 𝐿𝐴𝐿 promo code. They can get discounted skill, the consultation with me, and we have other migration agents with us as well. So our total combined experience of migration industry is more
Yeah,
than 35 to 40 years. So
yeah,
that's plenty of experience, guys. And rest assured, you are in good
yeah.
hands, so you
Even
don't need to
I'm
stress
also
too much
in
about it.
Saurabh hands, so he's looking after me. So guys, like if you have, yeah, if you miss this
Exactly.
live, or else like you have any other queries regarding you, for you, your family, your friends, whatever it would be, just reach us on Australia Ludo regarding global vision migration, or else you can directly contact Saurabh Smar anytime. We are always there to support you guys, to help you guys, and also like resolve all your solutions regarding migration thing. That's it, yeah.
Perfect. That's all. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Ethan. It was a lovely session.
Hope
First session of 2023. And let's keep more
yeah,
sessions
hope
coming through for a
so.
lot
We'll
of
just do it
people.
quicker and quicker. Like we'll like reach more
Yeah,
people regarding this. Like maybe people will get that. I mean, like queries only when something goes on. Like right now, 189 and 190 goes on. Like people are getting all that queries. So regarding that, so that
exactly.
make yeah. So
Certainly.
finally, it's a wind up time. So thank you, Saurabh. Like connect maybe other week.
Perfect.
Thanks for all your time. Yeah, thank
Perfect,
you
Ethan.
all the follow.
No worries at all,
Thank
Chetan.
you
Take care.
for
Thanks,
following
guys,
us
for
and
joining us.
seeing all the live all the time. Thank you so much. Bye bye.